Hello all the crazy people out there, my name is Dragonite, welcome back to Pokemon Ultra Moon. Last time, we were disappointed in the Ultra Warp Space, and then we came over to the Elite Four and started knocking some heads together. And by knocking some heads together, I mean they actually put up more of a fight than I thought they were going to. Which is honestly kind of neat, because I like it when that happens in my Pokemon games. So, today, we're going to fight Olivia and Molayne. I think that's who I said, the Steel type one. I don't remember. Like, past Gen 5, like, I have, like, my recollection for who the important trainers in Pokemon games are just falls off so hard. Anyway, so this is Olivia. We are going to come on in and start doing our usual strategy. I don't think Birdbrain is really going to be able to do much against a bunch of rock types, although I guess I could stall with Toxic. For what it's worth, I don't know if a bunch of rock types are really going to be able to do much to Birdbrain either. But we are going to lead off with our Stealth Rocks, break some Sturdies, as you often have to worry about with rock types, and we're going to see how much trouble Olivia gives me. Alright, so you're going to lead with Armaldo. That is a rock bug type fossil Pokemon from Hoenn. Are you also going to have Credilli? Are you going to do the thing where you have like both versions of a Pokemon? Anyway, I'm actually going to poison you. And we're going to do that to start off, and I'm going to then throw out some Stealth Rocks, and okay, so that was a Stone Edge. That was a critical hit. I said like 30 seconds ago that I don't think a bunch of rock types can do much to Birdbrain, and the game was like, wanna bet? So we're going to go and do the important parts. If Birdbrain goes down, then sorry Birdbrain, but I don't really have much else for you to do. Let's see. I could like stall in the air. That's always an option. But, should I? I do want Gonlahasta and, maybe not Pika because fire types and rock types. I do want Gonlahasta to get some experience in this fight because I feel like he specifically hasn't gotten as much time in the spotlight as the rest of my team has. And I think that this would be a fairly good place to be able to, like, turn that around because I do have Giga Drain. And, there's not many other things that my team can really do to a bunch of rock types besides, like, Scald, I guess. But we will try to let that happen organically and not force it to happen because I've noticed that oftentimes when I try to, like, do that on purpose, it doesn't really work out. Stone Edge is gonna miss because I'm in the air. And we're going to land on you, and that's gonna be a neutral hit. Stone Edge missed again, alright. Is the poison going to take you down? It is not. Are you going to heal? The other Elite Four haven't been healing. You are not going to heal. Okay. In that case, you're going to go down. I'm going to stay in the air. I don't actually know what happens if you're in the middle of the air when someone dies. Am I just going to go and hit Lycanroc? You're going to switch in over the rocks. You're going to use Fire Punch, and it's going to miss, and that fly is going to land on the next Pokemon. Alright, that's interesting little science experiment there. So, Does Pico have anything that he can do here? No. Alright, I'm not going to switch Pico in. That would be dumb. So, Gonlahas is going to resist Fire Punch. And for that matter, so is most of the rest of my team. But we're going to go and switch in... Actually, I think... like, all of the rest of my team is going to resist Fire Punch. So, that's fine. I'm going to go and use Giga Drain. I don't know what you can do. Okay, so I'm faster, so it doesn't matter anyway. I'm going to go and use Giga Drain and just heal that off. And, Rock Climb. Really? Rock Climb, of all things? I guess it has Rock in the name. That is not one of the better normal type moves. Like, you could learn any other move. Like, you could... I guess it's probably in its level up moveset because it kind of looks like a rock climbing werewolf or something like that. But you could learn any other normal type move and it would be better than rock climb. Well, not literally any. There's a lot of options is what I'm getting at. So Probopass is coming on in. And you can have Sturdy. I think Magnet Pull is your other ability. But you are 4 times weak to Earth, and I should be able to hit you with an Earth Power. And from full health... Okay, so you still have enough defense that I can't take you down with an Earth Power, but it's gonna almost get there, and I think I should be able to take the rest of that back with Giga Drain, and I stand corrected. I really hope I survive another Why does Probopaz... 1 health. Okay, yes, please. Why does Probopaz even know Dazzling Gleam? That doesn't make any sense. What is it dazzling? What... Does it have, like, geodes embedded in its nose or something like that? You know, maybe I'd be happier if I didn't know the answer to that. So, Gigalith is coming in, and you are going to use Sandstream. That is not going to affect me, because I am a ground type. Now I think I will use Giga Drain, and I will get at least some of this HP back. Oh, you know what? Sand increases the special defense of rock types by 30%. Throat Chop. That sounds violent. Okay. So, I should have just healed with an item there. Gonlahas, you did pretty good. That could have been a lot better if I actually just used Earth Power on the second turn with Probopass. That was kind of my fault. But let's see, who do I want to... Fusro, you haven't really gotten a lot of time to fight recently, so we can go and bring you in. You've got a fighting type move. That should work out nicely here. Let's see, close combat. I think that will take care of the Gigalith. Yeah, so the Giga Drain wouldn't have done a ton of damage to this thing even if the sand hadn't buffed its special defense, but with its special defense buff, it really didn't do very much at all, so... oh well. There's not much that Gonlahas could have done there because Earth Power is also a special attack, and while it does get same type attack bonus, like, the amount of damage that Giga Drain there did times 1.5 still isn't, like, that much damage. Let's see. So, Credillia is your last Pokemon. You do indeed have the other Hoenn Fossil. So, we are going to go use Close Combat. That is going to take the Credillia down. And that fight was... my stylus just fell off my desk. That fight was over without too much drama. Alright. So, you didn't give me quite as much lunch money as the last two did, thanks to Pico not participating in that fight. But, good game, Olivia. Alright, so we got one more, and it's going to probably not be too different from this. That is going to be the Steel type. I'm going to go and heal real fast. And now let's go and take on the last one. Alright. This video is probably going to be on the short side, to be honest. The last one had some nonsense with the Ultra Space at the beginning, and also those, the first two fights took a little bit longer, but this one I think is going to, this one I think is probably going to be a little bit shorter. And that's, maybe that's okay. I'm not going to do the one per video thing because even though, like, sometimes I do just need, like, a video to edit that isn't, like, especially long for the sake of my sanity, at the same time, I don't want this to drag on for, like, even longer. Because I do want to eventually move on to doing Let's Plays of other games. But Molayne! Alright, so my strategy here is going to be much the same. We're going to toss out some Stealth Rocks. I definitely can't do anything to a bunch of Steel types with Bird Brain. Them being immune to poison and whatnot. But we will break the Sturdies, because that is something that you sometimes have to worry about with Steel types. Klefki! Alright, that's gonna... We're gonna try and get you out of the way before the dragons come on in. Alright. So, Klefki specializes in status. And you're gonna use Thunder Wave. I'm gonna not really like that. I'm going to assume that you're going to try to do that again. I'm going to fake you out by switching into Gonlahas. And then I'm gonna switch into Pico, and I'm gonna... Actually, you know what? You have the Prankster ability, don't you? Which means that status moves get priority. Which means that it won't really matter if I fake you out, because you'll just get a priority Thunder Wave when I switch into Pico anyway. So we're just gonna go and hit you with an Earth Power. You're gonna use Reflect. Okay, so that is inconvenient, but Earth Power is a special attack, so that's not gonna really matter very much. And are you gonna do also Light Screen? Do you also have Light Screen? Whatever you're trying to do, it's not a status move because I'm going first. So I'm gonna guess that you had, like, a Dazzling Gleam utility move or something that you wanted to use. That's okay. Do you also have the Light Clay? Is that gonna last 8 turns instead of 5? Is it worth trying to stall this out? Metagross is coming on in. And, that did a little bit of damage to Metagross, but not very much. Let's see, Earth Power. I'm gonna see how much this does because we don't have the Light Screen up. That did a little more than half. Meteor Mash is going to be what you try to do. As long as that doesn't raise your attack, which it did. As long as you don't have Bullet Punch, which you don't. I'm in the clear. Okay, so Metagross is going down. That is a pseudo legend from Hoenn, so no slouch. We're going to go and get a lot of experience from that. Dugtrio's up next. That's the Alolan Dugtrio with the fabulous hair. I guess I'm just gonna use Earth Power again. Iron Head. Am I gonna survive an Iron Head? I do not survive an Iron Head. I feel like I probably came pretty close to surviving an Iron Head, honestly. Let's go bring in Pico, and let's go and just hit you with a Flare Blitz. Alolan Dugtrio is probably going to be faster than me, and I'm sure you'll have a Ground-type move of some sort. Yeah, but I think I should survive an Earthquake. I do survive an Earthquake, but I'm not going to survive the recoil. Okay, so Pico is not going to get the experience from this. That's too bad. Critical hit, Tangled Hair. Yeah, that's not going to matter because I'm super dead right now. Bye, Pico. Alright. So, lastly... Is this lastly? I think you might have one more Pokemon. Fusroda. Let's, again... I don't think you've gotten that much, time fighting things, so... recently. So, we'll give you some time to play around with a Pokemon who's 4 times weak to... fighting. So we're gonna go and use close combat on this here Bisharp. And Bisharp, you could have been like level 90 for all I care. You would not have survived that. And would that actually have been true? At like level 90, if you were like 22 levels stronger than me right now, would you have still died to that? I kind of want to run a damage calculation and find out. Hey. Anyway, Magnezone is the last Pokemon, and I think Magnezone will probably also die to a close combat. Like, Bisharp's defenses aren't really that good, and it is 4 times weak to fighting, and I am a Kamao, so... or a Kamao, rather. Kamao is the second stage, so I feel like that would have probably done a lot of damage no matter what level you were. Anyway, so that was it for Molayne. We have taken care of the Fighting-type Elite Four member fairly handily. And you know what? Should I just take on the champion in this video? I think I will. Let me go and heal. So, let's step on the teleporter, go back to the central room, and now the teleporter in the middle will be lit up, and we're gonna see who we actually go and fight now, because like I said, I think there's a couple of options. Let's see. There's a part of me that thinks, like, should I, like, save and reset and see if I can fight, like, a bunch of different people? Should I come through the Elite Four multiple times and see if I can fight anyone new when we defend the champion's title? But... we'll see. Maybe I'll do, like, one. Okay, so we are gonna fight Hau. And I'm gonna keep coming back, too, no matter how many times it takes. Okay. So, let's see. After this fight, I'll go and check who the other options are. I'll put, like, their names on screen right now. And I'll see if, like, if I defend the title again, if there's, like, a random chance of some other person coming in, or exactly how it works. Anyway, Alolan Raichu. So, that is, like, scary for Bird Brain. You don't have Levitate, do you? So I can hit you with a, like, Ground-type move if I wanted to. But I'm gonna go toss out the rocks. And you're gonna go and use Thunderbolt. That's probably gonna bring Bird Brain down to sturdy. And that did bring Bird Brain down to sturdy. We are going to set up my entry hazards and, switch into... again, probably God Lahas is the best option here. I think I can... oh, am I down in the yellow on power points on some of my important moves again already? That didn't take long. So you're going to use Quick Attack. Well, Quick Attack didn't really do much. That was almost like not doing anything. Let's see. Earth Power. Psychic is going to be your best move to use against me. That is a neutral hit. That should not kill me. Earth Power is going to... almost kill you. Okay, I don't really like this matchup, so let's go and switch out again. Pico, come on in. Let's see. Thunderbolt, I think, would be your best option against Pico. Psychic is going to, of course, be an immunity of mine. So we're going to go and use Darkest Laria. I said that out of habit. Focus Blast missed. Okay, so you do have Focus Blast. But it is Focus Miss after all. Known by the community. So we're going to go and just avoid that attack. We're going to go and use Leech Life, which we didn't really need. Gun Lahas is going to gain a level. Stream Bako is going to gain a level. And Vaporeon is coming on in. So Vaporeon is something who Pico has no answers to. Actually, I kind of do. I can just use Outrage here. Let's see. Hydro Pump is going to be faster than me. Okay, that's a 1-hit KO. Never mind. So, yeah, I'll go back to the stance that I can't really do anything with Pico against you. Do I want to stay in with Gonlahas? I don't really. I feel like water is a neutral hit, and if I get hit by a Hydro Pump, like, I won't have time to get a Giga Drain off. I think what I really should do if I was going to be responsible about this is use one of my physical attackers. You know what this might be a good time for is that Z Dragon move, Devastating Drake. So I've been saying that I don't like Z moves because I don't think most of the time it's worth wasting a hold item on a Z Crystal. But I have gotten a lot of use out of Devastating Drake as a screen nuke. Hydro Pump, you're not locked into that, are you? Do you just not have any better moves to use against me? That would be surprising. I feel like it's more likely that you're, like, scarfed into Hydro Pump or something like that. Anyway, so we are going to go and use our screen nuke, and this is just going to basically delete Vaporeon from play. And, let's see. I do like most of the Z-move animations. I do have to give them credit for that. Most of the ones that I've seen. They are very over-the-top and often silly, but, like, over-the-top and silly attack animations is one of those things that, like, until the point comes where I get tired of it, and I haven't used this move enough that I just start getting tired of it, but, like, the summon animations in, like, the Golden Sun games, those go on for way too long, and you can use those repeatedly in battle, and it does just get kind of ridiculous after a while. But the Z-moves in these here Pokemon games, I have a soft spot for their move animation. So Crabominable, that's my last power point on close combat. And Crabominable is going to go down. And we are going to go and Lokvakor is going to grow to level 70. Alright. Noivern is up next. Do I want to stay in? You're probably going to be faster than me. I do have Outrage. You're going to use Dragon Pulse. Let's see if I can survive that. From like 75%. And I do not survive that from like 75%. Alright. So, Fusroda, you definitely gave it your all there. Definitely did some fairly important things, getting Pokemon who I don't want to deal with off the screen. I think Stream Crow is going to come on in, and we're going to go and, do I want to be cheap? Do I want to do it? I'm going to do it. It's the last fight of the game. So, Super Fang, that's an interesting idea, because that is going to bypass my multi-scale ability. Because it doesn't do a damage calculation, and it's just going to chop my HP in half regardless. Alright, so, with the Leftovers recovery, I should be faster than you now. I am not faster than you now. Come on, Streamer Crow. You have good defenses even without the multi-scale, and I don't survive that. Okay. So, my strategy for ripping through the game has been its downfall here. All right, Draco Meteor, Dragon Pulse. For full health, I think I should survive this, and I barely survived this. All right, Draco Meteor did not miss. Congratulations, this is gonna take down the Noivern, and that is I did not expect you to give me quite that much trouble, but congratulations, Hal. I imagine that you're probably EV trained. Alright, so Tauros is coming on in, and unfortunately I'm gonna have to switch out here because I can't really, yeah, Intimidate. That's nice. Unfortunately, I can't really do very much to you because my special attack is at half right now, and I think you're probably gonna be faster than me anyway. I might have to heal here. Let me see. Fusroda is out of power points on close combat, so I can't really do that. But let me see. Should I max revive? I've got 5 max revives left. I could heal Birdbrain to full health, and I could poison you and stall. I could... I feel like you're gonna have either Earthquake, Stone Edge, or both. So Pico's probably not a great option. I think Fusroda is the best option here. Alright, so Double Edge is going to go and take down Lokvakor. And that's... Sorry, Lokvakor, you did, again, fill a fairly important role in that fight in taking care of the Noibat, which my 2 pseudo-legendary dragons were not able to do on their own. So we're gonna go, and Outrage is definitely my best choice here. I guess I could set up... You have Dragon Dance, too. I could have done that. But we're just going to go and use Outrage. And this is going to hit through Tauros's... It is not going to hit through Tauros's bulk. Really? Man. Okay. So, we're just going to go and use a second Outrage on Tauros. And I did not expect it to come down to that. But, let's see. Decidueye. Ah, yes, your starters. So... I have one more Outrage. I'm getting the 3-turn Outrage. Let's see. You are level 70. Let's see if this is enough to take you down. Decidueye's defenses are okay. But, alright, so it wasn't enough to take you down. Spirit Shackle. I think that's it for me. And do I want to heal? Unfortunately, the Unrelenting Force was not quite enough. I definitely should have used, Dragon Dance on the first turn there. The Unrelenting Force wasn't quite enough to take you down. Let's see, Gon Lahas. I said earlier that I feel like you hadn't gotten as much time in the spotlight as the rest of my team, so let's change that. I'm gonna go and drop a Max Potion. I was hoping to get through the champion fight without using items, and I could have if I played a couple things better, I think. But, unfortunately, Foresight was not something that I, was blessed with a great deal of, so that didn't really work out. Dragon Claw. Let's just do the Dragon Claw. Oh, I'm faster than you. Okay, so I didn't need a heal there. I could have just done that. Alright. Well, Birdbrain is going to grow to level 70. And we have defeated Pokemon Trainer How? Again. Alright, it's hard to be strong enough to admit that you're weak, you know? And you're gonna give me your lunch money, and you did not give me as much lunch money as some of the Elite Four did. And that is with the Amulet Coin. Weird. I really want to be stronger than a Kahuna, but I still don't know how I can get that. But if I keep trying and using my full power, I think I'll find a way. That's how I feel whenever I battle against you, Drago. That's why I love battling against you. Alright. So, that's gonna be it. We have defended the title, and... unless I find out, which I'm going to look up right now while this is playing, unless I find out that I can, in fact, rematch the Elite Four and, like, fight other trainers. I just respawned here, really? Alright, to Bulbapedia I go. Okay, so, How is always the first title defense challenger in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and we saw him, so that's alright. The other options are, and I'm scrolling down the Bulbapedia page, and there are some conditions, like on the first day of the month, Lusamine will appear, a month after you finish the Rainbow Rocket episode. I can't remember if that was a month ago now or not. I think it was, in, like, real time. Gladion will appear. We've also got, scrolling down, let's see, Gladion, we've got Guzma, who can also appear. Hapu apparently is an option. I don't know if there's some special condition that makes her appear. How, I don't know if How will reappear again if some condition is met or just randomly. Kukui is apparently an option. Lusamine, Plumeria, Ryuki. Ryuki we haven't met. I think when I was looking up information about the, like the Kanto Battle Dojo or whatever it was in, on Ula Ula Island, I think Ryuki is a character who can appear there. And, Sophocles and Tristan, who is a random youngster, can apparently appear to challenge you. So there's options. I'll go and fight a couple of them. Probably not too many, because I do want this to end eventually, but I also want to see what some of the other trainers have. So, let's see. I'm gonna go heal. I'm gonna end this video off here. And, next time, we're gonna do a couple title defenses, and I'll cut out the regular fighting at the Elite Four. Maybe if I, like, save Scum, I'll get to... save Scum, I can, like, see some of the other challengers without having to refight the Elite Four. I don't know when the opponent is generated. But until then, you should all go check out Wizarducks and the Lost Hat, which is one of the games that I like to work on when I'm not doing YouTube stuff. Link to the Steam page can be found down below. I hope you all enjoyed that, and I will see you all later.